Rewrite the following statements after choosing the correct option. When the hair expands, it dash becomes solid, becomes thinner, gets lost, becomes humid, becomes thinner. From high hair pressure regions, winds dash low to regions of still higher pressure, blow towards regions of cooler air, blow towards regions of low air pressure, remain still, blow towards regions of low air pressure. In the northern hemisphere, winds blowing towards the equator dash due to the rotation of the earth. Turn to the south, turn to the east, turn to the west, turn to the north, turn to the west. The direction of seasonal winds blowing over the Indian subcontinent during winter is from the dash southeast to northwest, southwest towards northeast, northeast to southwest, northwest to southeast, northeast to southwest. The roaring forties in the southern hemisphere blow towards the equator, blow in the areas around 40 degrees south parallel, blow from the subpolar region of low pressure, blow around 40 degree north parallel, blow in the areas around 40 degrees south parallel. Identify the type of winds from the description given below. These winds from the southwest bring rains to the Indian subcontinent. During June to September, India gets rains. After this period, these winds retreat. Southwest monsoon winds. These winds blowing from the North Pole region towards 60 degree north parallel cause cold wave conditions in extensive areas covering North America, Europe and Russia. Polar winds. Hilltops get heated quickly during the day. The air in this part becomes hot, light and starts ascending. Hence, a low pressure area forms in this region. At the same time, the air at the foothills being cooler and that area experiences high pressure. Air in that area blows towards low pressure. Valley breeze. Given below are the values of air pressure in millibars. Using the same, draw diagrams to show a cyclone and an anticyclone. 990, 994, 996, 1000. You have to draw the diagram of cyclone showing high pressure and low pressure and the numbers 990, 994, 996 and 1000. 1030, 1020, 1010, 1000. You have to draw the diagram of anticyclone showing low pressure and high pressure in between and the numbers 1030, 1020, 1010 and 1000 in above. State one reason why. A belt of calm exists near the equator. A belt of calm exists near the equator because there is not much difference in the temperature and air pressure. So winds do not blow in this region. The winds coming from the northwest in the southern hemisphere have greater velocities than the winds coming from the southwest in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, the obstacle caused by the relief of the land surface is almost absent. Therefore, the winds coming from the northwest in the southern hemisphere have greater velocities than the winds coming from the southwest in the northern hemisphere. The monsoon winds in the summer come from the sea, but the retreating monsoon winds in winter come from land. Monsoon winds are generated due to the uneven heating of land and water in the different seasons. During summers, land heats up quickly as compared to water and an area of low pressure is created on the land, whereas an area of high pressure is created on the water. But during winters, low pressure is created on the water and an area of high pressure is created on land as it cools down quickly as compared to the water. As winds blow from high pressure areas to low pressure areas, it blows from sea to land in summers and from land to sea in winters. Thus, the monsoon winds in summer come from sea but the retreating monsoon winds come from land. Complete the flow chart. Answers are given directly. Types of winds: planetary winds, seasonal winds, local winds. Planetary winds are divided into easterlies, westerlies, and polar winds. Seasonal winds are divided into southwest monsoon winds and northeast monsoon winds. Local winds are divided into mountain winds, valley winds, land breeze, and sea breeze. Answer in short: why is the air pressure high in polar areas in both the hemispheres? In both the polar areas, the temperature here is below 0 degrees Celsius. Hence, the air is cold and heavy. Hence, the air pressure is high in the polar areas in both the hemispheres. What effect does the rotation of the earth have on the winds? The direction of the winds is influenced by the rotation of the earth. In the northern hemisphere, winds get deflected towards the right of the original direction, whereas in the southern hemisphere, they get deflected towards the left of their original direction. Why do the cyclonic winds blow in a circular manner? Cyclonic conditions are created when a low pressure area is surrounded by high pressure areas. In these conditions, winds start blowing towards the low pressure area from the surrounding high pressure areas. But due to the rotation of the earth in the northern hemisphere, the winds deflected towards the right of the original direction, whereas in the southern hemisphere, they get deflected towards the left of their original direction, which causes the cyclone winds to blow in a circular manner. State the reasons that lead to the formation of cyclones and describe the effects of cyclones. Cyclonic conditions are created when a low pressure area is surrounded by high pressure areas. In these conditions, winds start blowing towards the low pressure area from the surrounding high pressure areas. The effects of cyclone are as follows. The sky is cloudy. Winds blow with a very high velocity. It rains heavily. It may cause loss of life and property in coastal regions.